It was almost midnight. Ria sat on the terrace, staring out at the city lights. Her notebook lay open beside her, filled with sketches and half-finished designs. She wanted to be a fashion designer, but the world around her just didn't believe she could. Her father thought it was just a phase. Her friends said it was impossible. Even her teacher once told her that dreams without money are just fantasies. And somewhere deep down, she started to believe them. Maybe they were right. Maybe dreams were only for people who could afford to fail. But that night, something stirred inside her. As the wind brushed against her face, she whispered to herself, "What if I believed first? What if I believed? Even before I could see how it would all happen." That single thought lit a small, defiant fire in her heart. The very next morning, Ria took out all her old sketchbooks and pinned her favorite designs to the wall. She decided that from that day on, she would live as if her dream were already real. She started saving every spare coin from her part-time job at a cafe, buying fabric scraps from the local market, and stitching her designs by hand. Her first few attempts were clumsy, threads tangled, seams tore, and sometimes she just wanted to cry. But each time that doubt crept in, she repeated her mantra: believe first, see later. Weeks turned into months. Her small room became her workshop. She'd stay up late into the night, watching online tutorials, learning from the designers she admired. She didn't have the latest tools or an expensive sewing machine, but she had something far more powerful. Not a blind faith, but a faith rooted in relentless effort. Whenever she imagined her future, she didn't see the obstacles. She saw herself walking down a runway, her designs shining under the bright lights. And somehow, that vision kept her moving forward, stitch by stitch. One afternoon, her father walked into her room. He saw piles of fabric, pins scattered everywhere, and his daughter, completely lost in her work. "Ria," he said softly, "this isn't practical. You're wasting your time. You need to think about a real career." Saluted up her hands, trembling slightly, but her voice was steady. "Papa, I know you can't see it yet, but I can. One day, you'll see it too. Just let me believe for now." He just sighed and walked away. She could tell he wasn't convinced, but it didn't matter anymore. Her belief was for her, not for him. Ria decided it was time to take a leap of faith. She found a local design competition that promised the winner a scholarship to a top design institute. The entry fee was more than she could afford, but she refused to let that stop her. For 2 straight weeks, she worked double shifts at the cafe, barely sleeping, saving every single rupee. Finally, she submitted her application. When the confirmation email arrived, she burst into tears, not because she had won, but because she had tried. She had backed her belief with action. As the competition day approached, the nerves crept in. What if her designs weren't good enough? What if everyone laughed? But then she remembered her promise to herself. Believe first, see later. She stitched through the night, turning her fear into focus, her anxiety into art. On the morning of the event, she stood backstage, clutching her designs, her heart pounding like a drum. When her turn came, she walked onto the stage. The judges watched silently as she presented her collection, which she called Dreams in Color. Her voice shook at first, but soon, a quiet confidence replaced the fear. She spoke about how belief is the fabric that holds every dream together. When she finished, there was a brief silence, and then the audience clapped, not politely, but genuinely, with warmth and admiration. Days later, she got a call. She hadn't won first place. She came in second, but along with her prize, she received an offer from one of the Jiu-Jitsu renowned designer who wanted to take her on as an apprentice. Her joy was indescribable. That moment proved what she had always felt deep down. You don't wait to see proof before you believe. Belief itself creates the proof. Her apprenticeship was tough. The designer she worked under was demanding, pushing her to her limits. There were days she felt like quitting, but each time she thought of giving up, she remembered that night on the terrace when she had nothing but a glimmer of belief. Years later, she launched her very first clothing line. The same people who once doubted her now praised her talent. Her father attended her first fashion show, sitting in the front row, with tears of pride in his eyes. After the show, he hugged her tightly and said, "Now I see what you saw all along." Ria smiled and replied, "You had to see it later, Papa, because I had to believe first." Her story spread. She was invited to speak at events, not just as a designer, but as a symbol of perseverance. Whenever she stood on a stage, she looked at the faces in the crowd, the skeptics, the dreamers, the broken hearts, and said, "Everything starts in the unseen. The moment you start believing, the universe starts aligning. The results don't come first. Your faith does." One rainy evening, she found herself back on her terrace, in the same spot where it all began. She looked at the city lights, which seemed even brighter now, and she smiled. She realized her belief had built everything she now sold: the studio, the success, the respect, and the unshakable strength inside her. It all started from that one moment when she decided to believe without any evidence. When people asked her how she managed to turn her life around, she always gave the same answer: "I believed before I could see. I trusted the process when nothing made sense. And every time I doubted myself, I reminded my heart that belief isn't about what you see it. It's about what you choose to create." The truth is, most of us wait for a sign before we act. We wait to feel ready, to see results, to have support. But the people who achieve extraordinary things are the ones who start before any of that appears. They take the first step in the dark, trusting that the path will reveal itself as they move forward. Ria's story isn't just about fashion. It's about faith. It's about every single one of us who stands at the edge of a dream, afraid to take that leap. Because the greatest things in life aren't seen, and then believe they are believed, and then they are seen. So whenever you stand at that edge, unsure and afraid, remember her words: believe first, see later. And when you do, your life will unfold in ways you never could have imagined. Thank you so much for watching. If this story resonated with you, please give this video a like and subscribe for more inspiration. Keep believing